Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Angelica and on this channel you will find plenty of DIY projects. So if you're a creative person and looking for some ideas, I would love you to stay for longer and subscribe to my channel. For today's video, I've decided to collect my top 10 macrame projects which I've done since I started my journey on the YouTube. Macrame plays a big part in my creative life and is one of my favorite things to do. But if you're new to macrame technique, I recommend checking my other two videos before you start working on any project. First one is all about macrame tips and tricks, and in the second one I explain step by step the basic macrame knots. And with that being said, let's get right into the first project. To create macrame coaster, I'm using 2mm cotton cord. I cut 5 90 cm long pieces and one 200 cm long. Take the longest cord and create a loop close to its end. Then take shorter cord, fold it in half and attach to the loop, creating larkset knot. Repeat the process with the rest of the cords, placing them next to each other. Pull the longer cord to tighten the loop. All larkset knots should create nice round shape. Make yourself comfortable and attach the middle part to your table for easier work. The longest cord will be going all around, creating the spiral. Take the first loose cord from your right side and start wrapping it around the main long cord. Put it over it and go through the loop. Each cord I'm wrapping twice. Repeat the process all the way around. You might notice big gaps between the knots and next 3 cord. When that happens, simply cut extra piece of cord and fill this gap, making larkset knot. Once you achieve the right size of your coaster, take the main cord and put it through the hole 2 rows higher and then secure it with the knot. Cut the excess cord and brush it out for better finish. For my hanging planter, I'm using 6mm stick rope. I cut 4 pieces of it, each one 250 cm long. I take one end from each rope and put them together. Then I fold all cords in half. Take wooden ring or any object you want to use to be able to hang this planter later on and attach all the cords to it by creating larkset knot. Divide all cords into 4 equal sections. Take 2 cords and create basic knot few centimeters away from the wooden ring. And repeat with other 3 sections, making sure the knots are at the same height. Once this is done, go few centimeters lower and take 1 cord from the adjacent knot and create new knot. And again, try to keep them all at the same height. Now we have 2 loose cords from each side. Take them together and create another knot. Going even lower, repeat the same process. To close it and make the space for the flower pot, I take all cords together and create one big knot. Place your pot inside and hang from the wall or ceiling. To create macrame handbag, I will be using 6mm stick cotton cord. I cut 20 pieces, each 200 cm long. For this project, you can use embroidery hoops or, like me, thrift some old handbag with round handles and use them instead. I secure the first hoop with placing heavy pot inside it. I take my first cord, fold it in half and attach to the hoop with lark's head knot. To each hoop, I'm attaching 10 cords. Starting with the first 4 cords, I create square knot. Then I repeat it, creating first row of square knots. I go lower and create another square knot, this time using cords from the adjacent knots. Now I have 3 rows of square knots on each hoop. This will be enough space for the handbag opening. I take 2 loose cords from each side and connect them together. This will create the side of my handbag. After creating another row of knots, I ended up with 4 loose cords, 2 on each end. So now I'm going to close this bag and create another knot. Carry on with the design till you reach the end of the cords. Now I have to make sure that nothing will go through the bottom of this handbag. I take opposite cords and create basic knots. To make it even stronger, I take hot glue and glue the knots together. Turn the bag inside out and your summer accessory is ready. The mirror I'm using in this project measures 25 centimeters in diameter, and for the pattern around it I will be using 2 mm thick cotton cord. I start measuring the circuit around my mirror, then add extra 60 centimeters of the cord to it and cut it off. About 30 centimeters away from the cord end, I'm creating slip knot. Make a loop, put your fingers through it and pull one of the cord. Take the longer cord and pull it through the created loop. Make it the same length what the other cord is and pull it to tighten. This way I created circle and 30 centimeters long tail on it. Now I have to cover the whole length of this circle with lark's head knots. I take 60 centimeters long piece of cord, I fold it in half and then attach it. Once they are all attached, I divide them into sections with 10 lark's head knots, which is 20 loose cords. With each section, I will create triangle shape with the edge around it. So I put away 2 cords from each side and start creating rows of square knots. Because it's going to be triangle shape, I make each row shorter and shorter. Once the triangle shape is created, I can make the edge for it. And to do it, I take the closest cord to the first knot and then wrap all the other cords around it by creating double half hitch knot. And then I do the same on the other side and another edge. Connect 2 ends together and the first triangle is ready. Now repeat the process all around. To add more details, I'll create 3 square knots between the triangles and then I pull the end through the hole, creating macrame ball. To secure it in one place, add extra square knot. To finish it off, untwist all of the cords, brush them out and trim to the same length. Then attach the whole pattern to the mirror using glue. For my bookmark, I will be using 2 mm thick cotton cord. I cut 6 pieces, each 160 centimeters long. I start with folding all of these cords in half and creating gathering knot at one of the ends. By taping into the table, you make your work much easier. This pattern is very simple and contains only square knots. First row with 3 square knots, then 2 knots, and so on. Once you reach the length you want, collect all cords together and create another gathering knot. Cut off the excess cord and your macrame bookmark is ready to be placed inside your book. Take any size of photo frame with the flat front and measure the length around the actual photo place. For this project, I'm using 3 mm stick cord. Measure the width of your frame and multiply this with 4. Easiest way is to add first the longest cord to the table and start attaching the smallest pieces by creating large-haired knot. The whole length has to be covered. Make sure it fits nicely and then attach it to the frame with some glue. You can start from any place. Take 4 loose cords and start creating square knots all around the frame. For the lower row, take 2 cords from adjacent knots and create another square knot. You have to basically cover the whole surface of your frame with these knots. I untwist all the cords, brush them slightly out, wrap around the frame and glue at the back. For better finish, I place thicker rope around the outside edge of the frame. For this project, you can take any glass container or even the old jar. Using 2 mm thick macrame cord, I measure a circuit of my dish and double this length up. Altogether, I will need 15 cords of that length. Using hot glue, I attach ends of all the cords in straight line. I divide all cords into 5 equal sections, and with all that, I'm going to create 5 cord braids. Take first section and put it over the second section. Take third section and put it over section number 1. Then take last part, put it over section 4 and under section 1. Repeat this whole part all over again till you reach the other end. To help it stay in one place, you can glue the cord to the glass in a few places. Once you reach the end, glue it all down and cut off the excess cord. This lampshade frame is actually from old lampshade which I bought in thrift shop. I only removed the fabric which was around it. For this design, I've cut few pieces of cord, each 70 cm long. I fold each one in half and attach to the top ring of my lampshade. Then I take one loose cord at a time and wrap it around the ring placed below. I repeat the process going all around the 2 rings. To cover the middle section of my lampshade, I will be going around with my cord and wrapping it around each metal part. I don't know how long I need the cord to be, so I keep it on the reel till I can fit it through the hole. This design is very easy and repetitive. You just have to pull the cord tight so the final result looks much better. To secure it, make extra knot around the metal part. I take the loose cord from the top section and pull them from the inside to the outside of the horizontal cords. And then I wrap all these cords around the bottom ring of my lampshade. To fill the whole ring up, I cut few short pieces of cord and attach them by making lark's head knot. To create macrame magazine rack, first I have to make the frame for it. To do it, I will be using two 30 cm in diameter embroidery hoops and a few wooden dowels. Cut right size of the stick, which will be holding two hoops together. Make temporary knot around two hoops, and you can also use extra clamp to secure it even more. Now attach sticks to the hoops using wood glue or hot glue. Put them in the place where the clamp is exactly in the middle. Hold it for a few seconds, making sure the glue set. Remove the clamp and rope, and now add new cord nicely wrapped around those two hoops. To create this pattern, I will be using 20 pieces of cord, each one 300 cm long, and I'm using 3 mm thick cord. And I start attaching them all to the first stick by creating lark's head knot. Take two first loose cords and put them on the side. Then take next 4 cords and create square knot. And repeat the process all the way to the left. After creating first row of knots, I have 2 spare cords on each side. So going lower, I'm going to create another row of square knots, this time using the first 2 cords as well. I wrap one of the cords around the hoop and then create a knot. And when I reach the other hoop, I do the same with wrapping the first cord around the hoop. Third row is the same as the first one, and the whole design is very repetitive. To secure the whole design, I have to attach the ends of the cord to the second stick. And to do it, I take only 2 loose cords from each knot and create lark's head knot. I cut off the excess cord and then glue 2 extra pieces of wooden dowel to make the magazine rack more stable. To create decorative macrame snowflake, you will need only 2 mm thick cord, 1 long piece and 11 short ones. I attach all of the 60 cm long cords to the long one by creating lark's head knot. Once they are all attached, I have to create one more knot which will close the circle shape. Take 4 loose cords at the time and create square knot all around the circle shape. Go lower and create another square knot, this time using cords from the adjacent knots. Using the same cords, I'm going to create another square knot, but this time I'm leaving loops on the sides. Then I'm going lower and lower, each time creating smaller loops on the sides. Leave 2 longer cords for hanging this snowflake on the Christmas tree, and the rest of the cords you can cut off. I hope you like these ideas and they inspired you to create some macrame project. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give a thumb up and subscribe to my channel for more DIY projects. I will also leave all the links to my macrame related videos down below so you can check them out as well. And for now, thank you so much for watching, your support, and I will see you in my next video.